Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.
Hello, Mr. Jones. We need to have a meeting to discuss our deal.
Shall I come to your office this afternoon?
That would be great. How about 2:30?
Now please tell me something about your achievements in your work unit.
All right. In my first teaching position, I received the Excellent Teaching Award the past 2 years in succession.
Have you received any other honors?
Yes. I was chosen as one of the top 10 prominent youths of Beijing in 2002.
Do you have anything published?
Yes. I have got 2 articles in English in the International Youth Writers Collection.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Please have a seat. Thank you for coming in today. I have read your resume. You completed university in England?
Yes, I went to Cambridge. After graduation, I started right away into the advertising industry. Later, I made a bit of a switch to focus on marketing research.
So, what experience do you have?
I have 10 years marketing experience. This includes both entry-level and management positions. In my last position, I worked my way up to being director of the marketing department.
I can see that from your resume. Your last position was marketing director for a pharmaceutical company, is that right? Later, why did you decide to leave your former post?
I felt after 5 years in one place, I was ready for something new. I would like to have a job that is challenging, something that I can see and do new things every day. I loved many things about my former job, and I left with amiable feelings on both sides. I was just ready for something new.
I see. Do you want to work full-time or part-time?
I would rather work full-time.
I'll make note of that. Now, what are your salary expectations?
I am willing to negotiate, but I expect at least $40,000 a year. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Monica to our company and introduce her to her department and colleagues. For all of you, we hired Monica because she is a very professional accountant and we are very happy to have her in the finance department. She has lots of working experiences as an accountant and I am sure everybody in the department can benefit from this.
Hello, everybody. I am Monica and this is my first day at work. I am working in the finance department. I am very happy to meet everyone and I am looking forward to working well with all of you. I am very happy to be one of the team and I will do my best to get into the working situation as soon as possible. By the way, call me Monica. Everybody calls me so. What kind of strong suit do you get?
I am accomplished in English and computer. Besides, I've got a teacher's certificate.
Do you want to be an instructor in the future?
Yes. I regard instructor as a decent occupation and I love to be an instructor.
Mr. White, I would like to give you notice that I will be leaving the company. It will be effective at the beginning of the next month.
Jessica, I am very sorry to hear that. Why are you leaving?
I've been offered another job with higher salary. And it also gives me the opportunity of promotion.
Oh, if you had talked to me first, we would have given you a raise.
You are really a good employer, Mr. White, and I am very lucky to have such a good boss like you. But this new job is more in my field of interest training. It's something I have always wanted.
Okay. Good luck, Jessica. By the way, if you ever need a letter of recommendation, I would be happy to write one for you. Can you drive?
Yes, I have a driving license.
Are you willing to drive yourself if the job requires?
Sure.
One more thing, if you are wanted in this position, you must prepare to travel abroad frequently.
That's fine with me.
Would you mind relocating?
As long as it isn't too far from this city, I don't mind.
It's quite far away, though it's located in another part of the city. Are you planning to find a boarding house nearby?
I think I can commute that far without any trouble.
Good. Do you have any particular conditions that you want us to take into consideration?
No, nothing in particular. Thank you.
Then you'll need to know it's a hard job. You'll often have to work overtime or even on weekends.
Yes, but I don't mind working hard.
Excuse me, Mr. Emery? Mr. Macmillan, would like to know if you have the completed schedule for next week.
Yes, I do, Susan. Just a moment. Here it is.
Thank you, sir. Sorry to trouble you.
Not at all, Susan. Just tell him to leave it with my secretary when he's finished with it.
Hello, Mr. Zhang. It's Mary.
Yes, Mary?
I'm afraid we're really staffed this week, Mr. Lee. I'd like to meet you, but I'm sorry I really can't.
Are you telling me you're not going to meet with me?
Not at all, sir. I'd just like to delay our meeting to next week. I'll have time at the beginning of next week.
Well, I don't like it, but I guess I don't have any choice.
How about Monday morning at 9 a.m.?
Okay. I'll go to your office at that time. I didn't receive an unemployment check this week and need to know why.
Did you mail us your last continued claim form?
I am afraid that I forgot to send it in.
We cannot pay you unless you turn that form in every 2 weeks.
Is it too late to mail the continued claim form in now?
It can't be more than 14 days late for us to accept it.
I will mail it in a little early next time to avoid this problem.
You can't possibly know in advance how much you will be working. If you mail it in too soon, we will reject it.
Will my paycheck arrive late because I messed up on my form?
Your check will be arriving late, but the next one will come right on time.
I'm glad you could find time to meet with me, Mr. Johnson. I can't think of a nicer environment for our meeting today. The ambiance here is lovely.
No problem. If possible, I always combine business with pleasure. Now, let's hear more about these chocolates you're offering.
Well, as you know, I have recently become the sole distributor for Granger's Gourmet Bonbons here in the United States. They're a new manufacturer and are looking to break into the luxury market. Naturally, your restaurant sprang into my mind immediately. I think your brand exemplifies many of the same traits as Granger's, and serving these chocolates would really add to your reputation for providing elegant, luxurious, first-class dining.
Sounds interesting. Gourmet chocolates. Where are they produced? Belgium?
Actually, the factory is located in Scotland.
Really? I didn't think they were known for their luxury chocolate production.
That's what makes this such a fantastic opportunity. The government is 100% supportive of creating new export markets and has guaranteed a low tariff for all wholesale orders of over 1,000 units. They've also reduced the red tape involved at customs as well. Here, I brought these especially for you. Try one.
Oh, thanks. Creamy texture, very smooth.
Unique, aren't they? I bet you've never tasted anything like it. Quality is assured as I personally visit the factory to make sure no one's cutting corners with the ingredients. Only the cream make it through inspection.
Yes, very interesting flavors, slightly spicy, very unique, that's for sure. Exactly what are the ingredients?
I have it on highest authority that this traditional secret recipe has been handed down in the Granger family for generations. I'm sure you can keep a secret. Buttermilk, cacao beans, sugar and haggis.
Haggis? What's haggis?
It's a traditional Scottish delicacy. You take sheep's liver, heart and lung and stuff it inside of the sheep's stomach. Do you think it's time to sign the contract, Mr. Simpson?
I'd like to look it over before I sign it.
Okay, no problem. I hope there are no questions about the terms.
I am fully satisfied with the terms of this contract.
Shall we sign this contract now?
Okay, where do you want me to sign?
Just sign at the bottom.
Okay, sign. Once a contract is signed, it has legal effect.
You're right. Thank you for your cooperation.
It's my pleasure. Look, here is a very special business card from an illustrator. Every time I go through my book of business cards, I will notice it. It is an eye-catching one.
Wow, fantastic. I like the font and color for his name. It is creative yet personal.
Yes, it is a bold design. People will believe he can make an illustration as impressive as a business card. It just stands out from those plain and standard ones used by government people or other big private and public organizations.
I agree. Business cards are great tools for promoting personal business. It won't take much time to design an amazing card, but it can make a big difference among the crowd. And you'll always notice it from your collection. For they have outspoken colors, own design, and the sizes are not always according the mainstream business card. I wish to have one like this. But for sure our company has its own corporate design which all employees have to follow.
Look, the printer isn't functioning well. I've pushed the start button. It is supposed to be working now, but it remains like a log. What's going on?
Let me check. It has a paper jam.
I didn't pay attention to that. I will try to get the paper out.
Be careful. The cartridge can be very hot.
How about your grades of study?
I have been doing quite well. A's reach 90% and B's reach 100%. And I've received scholarship 2 times.
Besides your major, do you know some in other fields?
Yes. To develop my knowledge, I studied economics, business administration and accounting through self-study. Nowadays, I have passed 3 courses on CPA.
Have you ever been a student cadre?
Yes. I used to be the monitor of my class.
Did it affect you much?
It's a very important experience for me. First, it improved my organizing ability, and let me understand how to resolve a problem in the overall perspective instead of my own perspective. Second, it let me know how to cooperate in harmony with people who I like or dislike.
In your spare time, do you have any part-time jobs?
Yes, I used to work as an assistant lawyer for Tienda Law Office.
I've just visited your showroom. You surely get a lot of fancy bedsheets. I like them very much.
I'm glad you like them. They are all made of silk. Here on display are all the most popular and favorite products. What items are you particularly interested in?
20 is very colorful and feels nice. I'd like to start with it. Is it pure silk?
Yes. It is the latest product and is highly recommended because of its fine design and quality. You certainly have an eye for good things.
Thank you for saying that. But what's the unit price?
Here is the catalog and the price list. You can take a look.
The price seems acceptable. Can you supply the bedsheets now if we order some?
No problem.
That's fine. Then let's sign a contract.
Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.